laundry outside, but they also want you to have a cookie cutter boring yard. So that doesn't sound very fun to me. But this is what you could do, because even if you don't live in an HOA, let's say you live in an apartment complex, if you live in an apartment, you can't really hang laundry outside. And I've never been able to actually hang laundry outside because I live in apartments. But like my mom living in a house, one of the benefits when you live in a house in a more isolated area is you can actually hang your laundry outside because it dries very quickly, especially in the summer heat. But for me, I've found that this two-tier, I love these two-tier, not the small fold over clothes hangers, but these two-tier ones. These are my favorite because you can get a lot. You can get a lot of clothing on one of these things. Like you can get a large amount of clothing actually. And you can just hang your laundry to dry. And it's warm enough in my house that most of my laundry dries pretty quickly, especially in the summer months. So I just like to kind of, when I hang everything up, just make sure everything's kind of nice and separated as much as possible. Of course, if you're doing a lot of laundry, the laundry rack will get a little full, but like I said, that's okay because it's warm in here and everything will dry eventually. I try to separate my laundry to mitigate like linty things, which are sweaters that can get on outfits. But if I see like any lint on a sweater before I go to hang it, something that makes things just a lot easier is just pick it off as you go so you don't have to worry about it later. And when you hang the item, try and get it as straight as you can. Like if you see any lint on it, just take it off. Try to like smooth it out as much as possible so that when it's drying, it like air dries fairly straight. And this is why the two-tier laundry racks are superior to the ones that you fold things over. Hi, how you doing? Because those kind are going to make bends in the clothing. Hello. And I love to hang socks to dry too, just because they don't shrink as much when you hang them that way. They seem to last longer. I'm gonna kind of just drape that sock over because it makes it easier. Oh, I found another piece of lint on a sweater. When you just take it off, that makes it so much easier, so that when you go to like lint roll your clothing, there's just not as much lint. And I also find like washing things in color groupings and clothing types, like sweaters with sweaters, also kind of just reduces the amount of lint. It just kind of cuts down on it by a lot. And I really like doing that. It just makes life easier. Oh, don't fall. Okay, let's get the next piece of clothing that we're gonna hang. I think it's another sweater. Feels like a sweater anyway. And pull out the arm bands of the sweater. Let's see, do we have any more thin hangers down here? Yes, we have another one. We're trying to kind of keep everything equalized a bit. So that when we're hanging items, they're all kind of grouped in similar areas. So, okay, kind of shake that out a bit. Put that in a bun. I'm gonna move this to an outer one because I'm trying to kind of even out everything as I'm hanging it. Okay, some slippy shorts. I usually have things like, I kind of like to wash things inside out just because, I don't know, that's just what I was always taught, that it would kind of protect your clothing a bit more. I mean, I don't know if that's true. It's probably not true, but that's just something I was taught when I was a kid. So I still do it to this day. And some clothing labels used to say that you should wash things inside out, you know? And then you can always give your clothing like a good shake before you put it on the hanging rack to just kind of get some of the wrinkles out. And I do kind of like to group, like all kind of hang undergarments together a little bit, like just to kind of keep things in certain areas for size, because I just kind of like to do the lower rungs for the undergarments, well, because they're smaller mostly. What's the thought process behind that? And then just get them evenly balanced on there, and put them back on the stuff, dude. Sometimes it's better if you plan ahead to put all the smaller items on first and on the bottom racks. But I didn't plan it that way today. I'm just kind of going with the configuration that I had going. I'm just gonna kind of shake out some of my socks, get a hanger. What I like to do for hanging socks is this. It's just my favorite way. I like the ones without the bars on the side, and I like to kind of just drape them over. Like, I know I said I don't like the drapey clothes hangers, but for socks and undergarments, I like it. Just not for like shirts and dresses. I don't like that because they don't dry as easily. But for like little items, and I don't even need that kind of hanging rack. I just need my regular one that I have, and I drape them over the hanger. And then kind of do even distribution. So I'll put this towards the inside. And I'm gonna go get some more clothes to hang. And I do like to wash my hair ties, just because if they've been in your hair all week, they're getting like dirt and sebum and oil from the environment. So in order to like just keep my hair tools clean, I will wash my hair ties, and I just kind of hang them on the ends right there. And I'll also wash my scrunchies. Okay.